What I need to do next is put a piece of plywood in this next tread across here, just like I did for this top shelf here. That shape that I'm trying to fit in here is an irregular shape. It's not square at all, so I need to use a template that I'll make, and then use that template to use an L fence, which is just jig on the table saw, and then I use that as a guide and the L fence to cut that irregular shape, and I'll show you that. Okay, this is how I use my new L fence to make that shape for the shelf. So the shelf is going to be 3/4 of an inch thick. So what I've done here is I have my table saw blade up. This is 3/4 of an inch, same thickness as my shelf, the piece I'm going to cut. I'll place that there as a shim, spacer basically. That'll get removed after I want to start cutting. Then this little piece of shim here raises it again a little bit higher than the thickness of my piece that I'm cutting, and that clears the tip of this blade here that's sticking up. Then I'll place this fence against my table saw fence, add some clamps, to clamp the L fence to the fence of the table saw. Make sure everything's tightened down. Right. The other key thing is to make sure that your table saw blade, the teeth, this is an alternate top bevel saw blade, and that means that the teeth alternate bevel side to side, one after the other. One points this way, one points that way. So the one that points this way, I'm making sure that it's flush with the edge of this L fence right here. And you can do that by just carefully adjusting this fence and then using a square. Make sure everything's all square and aligned. And again, this edge of this face of the L fence needs to be flush with the teeth of the saw blade. So clamp it in. You got your spacers in there. Spacer is 3/4 of an inch plus a little bit of a shim. That's basically, you want to be like half the thickness of your template that you've made. Okay, this is my piece that I'm going to be using for my shelf top, and this is the template. I'm going to double face this to the shelf. I've got one straight edge, so that means I don't have to cut 4 times. I can just cut this side over here, the long side, and then this edge over here. So I'll get some double face tape it down, and then, okay, I put double face tape on this guide template. One good trick about getting the paper off is just use the tip of your knife, peel that off. Comes off. I also pressed it. Here's the idea. Once the template is on, nice and secure, I hope. And so what you do is you slip this under there. Fits nicely because the space, that little spacer I put on there. And then you just run it through, riding this template that's on top of your piece you want to end up with. That's the idea. And we're going to give it a go. Okay, wish me luck. Checked all the clamps. Let me get rid of these spacers under here. Actually, I can get rid of them. provides a little bit more clearance. The other good thing about these things is when I ride this through this jig, the piece that gets off cut just falls harmlessly in there. No danger of kickback. That's the beauty of this. And then you can use this over and over again because I'm not damaging it like you would with a fence where you embed the blade in there. A sacrificial fence, they call that. But this is not a sacrificial fence. I can use this over and over again. So we'll try and see what happens. So there it is, the piece with the template still attached. Everything's nice and flush on all four sides. I just hope it fits. It should. I wanted to make one. Now I can do, it sort of increases my capabilities to do irregular shapes as long as I have a template. Other things you can use with it, it's say if you have a rough edge here, just put a template, a straight edge on top, ride it against the fence like I just did, and now you've straightened that, you've basically jointed that edge that was maybe wavy from a bandsaw cut. They're really versatile. There is another one on Fine Woodworking that's a little bit more sophisticated. It's adjustable, so you can adjust the height up and down with some knobs, and it's a little bit more involved. It's probably a day construction. But this one, couple scraps of MDF, another piece of plywood there, some glue and nails. I used a pin nailer to attach this to that. And this is 1 1/4 inch holes for the clamps, and you can also use those to hang it on your wall somewhere. All right. I made the template, by the way, by fitting it into the space and then hot gluing it together, if you want to know.